Welcome to Isaiah's Reviews Podcast. My name is Isaiah. My co-host name is Sam. You can get to all my social site links through my website, isaiahsreviews.com. You can get to Sam's social links through his website, flipframevideos.com. You can also hire Sam because he runs a small video production company, so if you need anything done, weddings, home tours, music videos, and more, just go there. Listen to this podcast on YouTube, Facebook. You can stream it off the website, isaiahsreviews.com, Tumblr, and SoundCloud, and Spreaker. So now let's get this show on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen,
hey guys, welcome to Isaiah's Reviews Podcast. I think we're on episode number 5. Sam's back, and we're going to talk about some camera that got announced today by Canon, some other little techie things, some movies that's coming out at the end of the week, and some go-sees that we recommend, and some no-watch that we recommend as well. So let's get started. First off, Canon announced a new DSLR camera. It's the EOS 1DX Mark II. You can pre-order this. I'm looking at it right now on B&H, and you can actually pre-order it with an C flash card or whatever it's called. Let me see.
C-Fast.
C-Fast 2.0 memory card. It's a 64 gig Extreme Pro. It'll come with it in the kit, and it'll come with a card reader as well. And they'll give that to you for free, but for the pre-order price of $59.99, $6,000. Do you think it's worth $6,000?
Nope.
Well, why don't you just go over the specs and what you would expect to pay, I guess, for something like this, and what your expectations are, what you hope it can do, and all that good stuff from an experienced camera guy.
Okay, well, we'll start off with the megapixels, 20.2 megapixels, full frame, CMOS sensor. It's supposed to be a new sensor. It's a completely new design sensor. Dual Digic 6 Plus image processors. Let's see here. It's got a touch screen, a 3.2 inch, 1.62, I don't know what that, M dot touchscreen. I guess what does that stand for? You know,
the N dot touchscreen.
M dot, is that like
M dot?
I don't know. Dot. I don't know. Well, anyway, it's a good touchscreen.
Yeah.
DCI 4K, which is the Cinema 4K, and it'll go as high as 60 frames per second. So you can get slow mo if you need to. You will have to interpret or conform the footage in post in editing. You won't be able to do it in camera with the 4K. That's how I used to do it anyway, so that doesn't really bother me. It might bother some people, but like a lot of people my age, I remember being back in college and having to do that a lot with the cameras that we used.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that cinema format or whatever you want to call it.
Well, that's what my GH4 does.
Is it the same thing?
Yeah. It doesn't do it in the 60 hertz. You have to swap the camera over to 24 hertz, and you get the true Cinema 4K. They call it DCI on the Canon. I've got my Panasonic pulled up. Let me see what they call it. Well, no, they call it DCI. I guess it's just digital cinema. I can't remember what it stands for. It's digital cinema something. And the resolution is the same. Or it should be the same. It's like, where'd it go? Yeah, 4096 by 2160p. And that's what mine will do. But mine only does it in 24 frames. It's 24, like not a drop frame, 23.98.
Oh, a true 24.
A true 24p. True 24p. And mine does it at 100 megabits per second. Theirs does it at 60 and or 59.94 FPS. but it does it 800 megabits per second. 29.97 FPS at 500 megabits per second. And then, of course, for PAL people, 25 and 50. The 25 FPS is at 500 megabits per second. Is it megabyte? Megabit. I think it's megabits per second.
Yeah.
The megabytes is uppercase, so it's megabits per second. 50 FPS is 800. And then for, okay. This one does the 23.98 frames per second, or, 24 with a drop frame at 500 megabits per second. It also does 24p. I didn't know that, unless BH is wrong. Because I looked at someone had a picture of the back of the camera when they were looking at the the frame rates, and I didn't see 24 frames a second unless it's under a separate menu, which I'll get further into that, but it'll also do 1920 by 1080p at 120 frames per second, 360 megabits per second, which is pretty awesome. And it's not cropped. Which is strange to me because it's cropped on the C300 Mark II, which is a $16,000 cinema camera by Canon. When you try to do 120 frames a second in 1920 by 1080p on there, it's already a crop sensor. It's not a full frame sensor. It's a it's a crop sensor, and when you try to do the 120 frames a second, they crop in on that already cropped sensor, which is kind of strange to me.
Wow!
So it's pretty cool that you get the full, I guess readout. Well, it's not full readout. They use pixel binning, and I couldn't tell you exactly what that means, but it means that you're going to get some moire and some not necessarily artifacts, but you're going to get some moire when there's like patterns and stuff like that. It may not be quite as crisp, but it'll look good. If you want some, some slow mo, it'll do 100 frames per second, 360 megabits per second. And this is, I'm in 1080p at this point.
Well, I'm really excited to see. I know that Nikon can't do video as well as Canon, but apparently the newest Nikon that's going to compete with this one,
the D5.
The D5. Yeah.
It won't in video terms.
Right. Because Canon's just got that fluidity about their AF.
Well, they were beating them, like Nikon kind of got ahead of them for a little bit in the video realm, just for a little bit, because Canon kept putting out the same shitty codec, soft, mushy image with all of their DSLRs, and actually downgraded when they came out with the new 5Ds, the split up 5Ds that were massive megapixel. It was like 50 megapixels or something. The video quality was even worse than what we got before, and Nikon kind of stepped ahead of them and apparently was pushing out some better quality 1080p from what I read at EOS HD way back in the day. But I didn't care because I was like, well, I'm not planning on getting a Nikon at any point. I'm going to get the GH4. So,
yeah. But just remember, people, whenever you buy the thing, make sure to have some glass to go on it already, probably, I would guess. Like, if you're on the fence about getting it and you're like, hey, I just want to get something new and try this out. Look how much the cards cost, for one.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a big point about this camera is the autofocus in video, is the dual pixel, what is it? I don't know. The dual pixel, God, sorry. My brain's not with me today. Anyway, it's got some awesome autofocus. It's the same one that's in the C300 cinema camera that's $15,000 or $16,000. So basically you're getting some super snappy autofocus in 4K mode in all the video modes. You're getting some amazing autofocus. So if you've got Canon glass, it's electric, that's L glass, if you spent tons of money in it, you want to get a new camera and you got the money to spend this money, fine. I mean, it'll be worth it if you are wanting to do video and stills. So
yes, but just keep in mind, a SanDisk 128 gig Extreme Pro fast 2.0 memory card is $370. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, just keep that in your
Yeah, put that in your pocket and keep it right there.
We left out. I mean, there's a couple other things like the stills. We got 14 frames per second at 20. Like you don't lose the megapixels. It's 14 frames a second at the 20.2 megapixels.
Yeah.
In RAW, so that's pretty impressive. Let's see here. The ISO is 100 to 51,200 extended mode. Well, that's important, but and supposedly I was watching a video on it and reading reviews, and everybody's saying that the low light's really good. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's comparable to the A7S or A7S2, but it's still good, and it's still like smooth, and you don't get hardly any grain. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Which is good. That's one thing you really don't want. Digital noise is always a pain to deal with. I was trying to see if it had a built-in intervalometer, and I would assume it does. Do you know? Do you see anywhere here?
I don't know. I do not know. But I do know that I think that it actually comes with a headphone jack, microphone, AV output, HDMI-C mini,
and a USB 3.
USB 3.0.
Yeah.
And I think it was different from the other one that's 4 or 5 years old now. I don't think it came with a headphone jack.
No interval recording. Are you kidding me? Wow.
So what did they do to get you, to make you want to spend the next money for the next model up, right?
No interval record. I mean, my GH4 has that. Come on. God, dude. Canon, what is your problem? Jesus Christ. Give us $6,000. We'll sort of give you some stuff you want. That's how I feel about this camera. That's how I feel about all their cameras. Sorry. Anyway, moving on.
They've got the potential to get something great, but they hold back on the one thing that you're going to pay almost double for to get.
Yeah, I mean, that is, God, give me a break. Yeah. This is what BH says. I could have sworn I read somewhere that it was going to have it. Maybe BH doesn't. Let me Google that. Yeah. If you want to keep talking about or continue, I'm gonna Google this right quick and see if I can find it.
Yeah. Sorry. The wives want to know if I was recording. Yep. But what are we going to talk about next? Whatever
you want to talk about.
Okay, well, let's go into smartwatch sales. The good thing about Apple smartwatch has been that they've actually sparked a smartwatch revolution and actually boosted sales overall, because apparently Android side of smartwatches is kind of starting to dip a little bit, and the Apple market brought the watch back up. So that's a good thing. And also GoPro. The the Hero 4 camera can now stream live to Periscope through an app.
So, that's cool.
Yep, you can actually Periscope now off the GoPro Hero 4. They got to do something. Their stock's kind of like pooping.
Literally.
Yeah, I think it's actually dropping poops. But they're supposed to come out with some kind of drone, collapsible, fold up something. I don't know what they're going to do. But I've come across this article and I thought it was pretty interesting, but it talks about Google self-driving cars and how all of them added up together right now, they do 3 million miles per day. Like all the cars that are on the road driving themselves, that's Google owned, they average about 3 million miles per day.
Jesus.
Yeah, so, and let me see here what it says. As a result, Google's vehicles drive a simulated 3 million miles each day. That's the equivalent of circling the equator 5 times every hour, the company said. The report offers a glimpse of how Google is using simulation to replicate real-world driving. The virtual tests, these are apparently virtual tests, are necessary to prevent real-life problems and to any concerns that cropped up amid increased interest in the technology. As one example cited in the report, Google wanted to make left turns at intersections more comfortable for passengers, so the company tweaked its software to adjust the angle of the turn. To test this change, the company repeated its history of more than 2 million miles with a new turning pattern to ensure that the modification actually improved left turns and people's experiences in the cars. So I'm thinking they're doing some virtual testing and actual automotive testing too. So if you combine all that, it's coming out to 3 million miles per day testing. So I think when this stuff actually comes out, it's going to be okay. It's not going to be bad. It's going to be safer. Everybody's overly distracted with cell phones, with tablets in the car. You name it. They've got them in there smoking. Them damn grandmas still smoking. I think they're the only ones that still smoke. That and when you
get
have
an e-cig, Granny.
Yeah,
Jesus.
get you an e-cig, get with the times, Granny. And then another cool thing that I ran across, let me find out. Hot Toys is the company, but they're making a whole product line of life-size comic book characters. And the one that I found was a life-size armored Batman figure from the new Superman movie. It looks awesome. Like, they got the picture standing here of him. He's full armored out with his eyes lit up and everything, like ready to fight Superman. And it's totally life-size. So you can search Hot Toys and look that up. Let's see here. It says, describes the figure as movie accurate and realistic. If you've seen the dramatic trailers for the film, which opens in late March, then you'll notice the big Batman does indeed look like a pretty close replica. The figure stands 6.4 feet tall. If you count the base, that's 7.2 feet in height. The eyes light up, and Batman comes with a fabric cape, which you may want to you may want to put in the laundry from time to time. I don't know why it says that. But yeah, it looks awesome. So check that out. I don't know about the pricing, but I think they're on pre-order kind of thing. And also, lastly, on cool stuff, a Google engineer creates the perfect smart bathroom mirror. And he made it like a DIY, like he got this computer board, chips, and all this mess, installed it into this two-way mirror, or one-way mirror, I'm not sure. But now it's a two-way mirror. A controller board, a display panel, and several other components and supplies, and to put it all together. And it's the brains behind it is actually a Amazon Fire Stick. There's free stuff out there that you can get that helps you to do this on your own as well if you just search that. But it has the weather, your notifications, the time, and all that will project through your mirror in your bathroom. And he was able to do it for pretty cheap. So
wow.
That's cool. So just search that. I thought that was really cool that exists, and you could do it yourself pretty cheap. Yeah. So, and as far as the movies that are releasing this week to theater, we've got February 5th, which is Friday. We got Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Kind of want to see it. I don't know. The Choice, Hail Caesar, which looks really good. I'm sure it's going to be great. And I guess that's it. The Club, whatever that is, it's a drama. Who cares? Yeah.
I thought The Club was a crappy 90s horror movie.
Oh, maybe they remade it. I don't know. But February 2nd, Tuesday, and the 5th, we've got Blu-rays coming. So you can buy or rent The Last Witch Hunter, Man Up, Bridge of Spies, He Never Died, Rock the Casbah, Truth, Monkey Up. I don't know what that is. And I think that's about it. That's worth talking about. Now, a movie that I recommend. One thing I want to do every week, I guess, is recommend a movie and then say, stay away from this one. And the one I can say stay away from is The Last Witch Hunter. I don't think it was worth... It might be worth a free rental from the Redbox if you got a coupon code or something. Maybe if you want to waste an hour and a half or something. But
you mean it's not up for any Oscars?
No, it's up for the stay wafers. But and one I want to mention that I like because I like cartoons. I think they do a great job with cartoons. The pacing of those, they can do whatever they want. The budget is there to keep the action nonstop if they want. They don't have to have those, fillers of dialogue in movies, action movies have, because they have a budget. But How to Train Your Dragon 2, I watched that for the first time, and I thought it was freaking awesome. So it's on Netflix or Amazon On Demand Prime, if you got Prime. So I thought it was great. Well worth it for action.
I've never seen those, but I've heard they're actually good.
Yeah, the second one's great. I've watched the first one. The second one was a little more mature, and I liked that. So it's pretty good. Yeah,
awesome.
And you have a movie too, right?
What, on Blu-ray or? Oh, that I went and saw?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I went and saw The Revenant. Oh, man. Yeah, it was amazing. Now, I mean, taken into consideration, I've been sick this weekend and I had to take some cough medicine, so I was a little droopy, but the movie, to me, was so good. Some people don't like slow movies. This movie is slow, but it's, like, engaging. Like, it's hard to turn away. I didn't pee the whole time. Like, the buddy I was with, he was like, damn it, I don't want to have to pee, but I got to. I'm going to explode. And so he got up. He got up, and he tried to get up at the slowest point of the movie and go pee. And I mean, I held on to the end, which it was painful. But the cinematography in it and the way that, like, they do these long takes from what I imagine is probably a movie or a really badass Steadicam of some or some kind of gimbal or something.
Yeah, I've seen a lot from it, and it's kind of amazing. There's no cut.
Yeah, well, there is a cut.
I mean, they blend it in, right? But it's
no. You're thinking of Birdman. It's the same director,
right?
He does that with Birdman, where it feels like one track. This movie's not like that. There are scenes that are like that, but they do cut a lot.
Yeah.
But there are set pieces that take place in what feels like one tracking shot, and it's just like you start on one character, then he gets hit in the face with an arrow, and it's like, oh my god, and then it pans over to another guy. He's like, we gotta go, and then he gets hit in the face with an arrow, and then it pans over, and then you're talking you're with the character that you're gonna follow for a couple of minutes, and then something happens. It's just intense. It's incredible, and the acting is amazing. But the cinematography is just so good. They shot on some kind of RE. It's the newest RE camera, and it's like a 65 millimeter sensor that's supposed to be pretty. I guess it's supposed to be the closest comparable digital camera to an IMAX.
Yeah,
I would imagine. But it's great because they shoot. I think with like a wide angle lens, I think it was definitely a wide angle lens for the most part. And they get in tight on the characters, but it's such a wide angle lens and such a big sensor that you can just see the environment around them, and they feel so small in this environment. It's just the environment is a big part of this movie, and you can it's like you start feeling cold when you're watching it. It's so good. It's great.
Have you read what happened to the real guy? Because it's based on a true story.
What did he get raped by the bear or something?
No, the bear just put his little paw finger in him, and that was it.
Just the tip.
What happened was, like, he got mauled by the bear or whatever, and I think he crawled for like 100 miles or something. Stupid. Something really stupid. And some Indians found him, and they sewed like some bear skin on his back or something to help heal him. I don't know. It's just a really weird thing. And it's been a while since I've read that, because I read it back whenever I knew The Revenant was coming out. But I'm running off rough knowledge. But just go check out what happened to the real guy. And apparently, I don't want to say anything to ruin what the movie may happen in the movie. But
I was going to say that's not how at least that's not how it played out in the movie. But anyway, I won't say anything else. I don't remember anything. I will say that bear sequence is hard to watch.
Wow.
Like, for real. Like, my buddy who can handle gore and stuff, me too. I mean, for the most part, I can handle gore unless it's just over the top gore. When it's realistic, it's kind of harder for me to watch. But that sequence was just, I don't know, really brutal. And the camera doesn't cut away. You see everything. And it's just, it's great though.
That's
Go
cool.
see it.
I mean, I'm glad he won an award. I think he won. What did he win this last time? A Golden Globe?
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah, Golden Globe sounds right. But yeah, we got like 5 minutes left, so I do want to say some stuff that I've got going on my website and things in that nature in that world, and you can go over whatever you want to go over that's happening in your own deal. But my website that I have kind of has gone live, completely officially live, February 1st, so like a couple days ago. It has a daily deal every day at noon. So that's an option to go there and check out what deal I've been able to scrounge up and show. And it has all the links in there, the social sites, Isaiah'sReviews.com, by the way. And it also has a Spreaker player in there, so you can actually play our podcast right off the website if you want to. If not, go to Spreaker or follow a link from the YouTube, and it'll download it on your podcast app. So those are options of what I've got going on this week. I'm actually going down to Auburn, Alabama, to Auburn University. When am I going? Thursday, whatever date that is, the 4th, is that right? Yeah, the 4th. Going down to Auburn, and I'll actually take my DJI Osmo. I'm going to shoot the review there at the university. And then what I'll do is kind of review the camera, do all that mess, because my wife, she's got a conference to go to down there, so I have plenty of time to review it in the hotel room and then actually go out with it and review it out at the university. And then I want to make a short film of the university with the Osmo, with some music with it, and it'll be a separate video from the review, just a standalone thing to kind of demo the Osmo. So that's going on, and I got a lot of stuff to do videos on. So, which is, I've got the Blackmagic video assist. I have to do a review on that. That's important, and a bunch of other things, like a list. I've got a pile on the floor of stuff that I have to do. So, what do you got going on?
I'm just working on a wedding that I shot for two really good friends of mine that I went to high school with. So, okay, that's pretty much it. And work, full-time job. Yay!
Cool.
I guess.
Great. Well, cool, man. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. And yeah, we'll see you next week, the same time. Peace out.